Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin the funeral service. If you have a cell phone or pager, if you could turn it to the silent mode. Officiating today's Reverend Mayor Moskowitz.
We are gathered here this afternoon to recognize the life, to bid farewell, and to mourn the passing of Lloyd Wolf, labeled Ben Asher Zalik. Hard to realize that we're here. Just Monday morning, he was in Shul at the Minyan, at the morning services, which he would come often, a few times a week. Part of the founding members of the Chabad of Northbrook weekday Minyan. In Hebrew, the word levaya, funeral, comes from the word livia, to accompany. Unlike the English word funeral, which is from the word finale, end, in Hebrew we emphasize that we are accompanying the soul of Lloyd, of Label, from one world to the next. Because in Judaism, we emphasize and we learn that the soul, the neshama, is eternal. And when one passes from this world, the soul continues on in the world of souls. We'll begin with the chapter of Psalms, first in Hebrew. Ashrei ha'ish asher lo halach b'atzas reshoim u'v'derech chatayim lo amad u'v'moishav leitzim lo yashav ki im b'seiras adinai cheftzoi v'seirasoi yege yemon v'loila v'haya ke'it shaso al palgemoyim asher pirya yitin b'iitoi v'alehu lo yiboil v'choil asher yase yatzliach lo yichein harishayim ki im kamoitz asher titfenu ruach al kein lo yakumu rishayim b'mishpat v'chatoyim b'das tzadikim ki yedea adinei derech tzadikim v'derech rishayim toiveid. Happy is the one who has not followed the counsel of the wicked, nor stood in the path of the sinners, nor sat in the company of the scornful. Rather, that one's delight is in the Torah of God, meditating on God's Torah day and night, and will be like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in season, whose leaf will not wither, and whatever that one does prospers. Not so the wicked, who are like chaff that the wind drives away. Therefore, the wicked shall not survive judgment, for the Lord loves the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked is doomed. Lloyd, or Label as we would fondly call him, often when someone new walked into Shul and asked him his name, he would probably say, Label ben Asher Zelig, Label the son of Asher Zelig. Was born in Crown Heights in Brooklyn. He loved to talk about the days, his youth in New York, mentioning the Yiddish radio that his parents would listen with Rabbi J.J. Hecht, and always inserting those Yiddish lines. I even have some texts from him with Yiddish words and English letters. And grew up in New York, went to school there, went to the same school as Dora, but I understand meeting her formally after school at work, and then was in the U.S. Army, Marine, thank you, and went on to California till he came to Chicago, which he called home. Thinking about Lloyd, and we're all anyone that knew him, we're all in a state of shock because we didn't expect this. We look in this week's Torah portion and we have a description of the beginning of the Jewish people as a nation with their leader, with our leader, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. And how does the Torah describe Moshe? The Torah uses this expression, V'ha'ish Moshe onav ma'od. The man Moses was very humble. Moses, we think of him as a leader. Some places it describes him as a king, but the Torah says simply he was humble. He was selfless. And thinking about Lloyd, I think that's the perfect description. He did what had to be done. He was reliable. He was there, but he was selfless. It wasn't about himself. And that's what I heard from family members. And that's what I experienced myself. I was scrolling through some text yesterday just to have that connection. And a common theme, although more recently we didn't text because it was kind of an autopilot, but I would ask him, could you come to the minyan this day? Will you come? Could we count on you? And whenever I would say, thank you for coming, so he would say, and this is a quote from his text, no thank yous ever necessary. And it was more than once that he expressed himself in that way. No thank yous ever necessary. Because it was never about himself. It was never about being the center of attention. It was just about doing what had to be done, about being there for others. And that's Moshe, Moses in our Torah portion, and that's Label, and that's Lloyd. In Hebrew, the word, or in Yiddish rather, the word label means lion. Lion. You know, there's a tiger, there's a lion, they're both in the cat family. What's the difference between the tiger and the lion? So the tiger is alone, but the lion comes with others. And for Label, it was always about family. It was always about those friends, those close individuals that he connected with, always with a very personal, meaningful, caring type of way. It wasn't loud, it wasn't noisy, but it was deep, it was real, it was genuine, it was true. Like Moses, our teacher, who gave us the Torah of truth. In addition to participating in the morning services, he would come on the holidays, sometimes with his family, often together with David. Lloyd introduced me to David, who I'm proud to consider a friend. When it comes to times like this, sometimes, we're at a loss of words. I don't think Lloyd was at a loss of words. I thought he just thought it wasn't necessary. Let's just get it done and not, make a big deal and not just talk too much about it. It was very direct and very to the point thing to get it done. And I think this is something that we could learn from. As the Mishnah states, not the speech is the main thing, but the action is most important. Before we continue with some of the prayers, I would like to ask some of the family members to share a few words, which is especially appropriate since Lloyd was someone that was so focused on family. I'm first going to ask his brother, Craig Gedalia, to share a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to say, if there ever was a person that wasn't ready My brother was not ready. He loved to give me advice, or he enjoyed giving advice, solicited or unsolicited. He would tell me what car to buy, even though I didn't, he's told me that for a couple of years already. And I didn't quite take his advice, but, and then not that long ago, the car sort of died, the transmission wouldn't work. And if I dared and try to fix the car, I don't know what he would have done. Like, it was an old car, he just wouldn't, he would have gone crazy. So and he was very interested. I got a Volkswagen car, which at the end of the day I didn't do, but for some reason he liked Volkswagens. And okay, and also he would be very interested. He'd be telling me about the tires, which tires to get. You have to get like Michelin tires that give you a nice ride, and but that was also okay. And another item, he would always tell me about the doctor I go to, that I might be going to the wrong doctor. He kept telling me the doctor keeps cutting your head off. It's no good. You have to go to a different dermatologist. I don't know. He told me that like for years, and that's yeah. And also some years back we were redoing the bathroom, and he was telling me which toilet I had to buy. I think it was a Kohler or something. And so we wound up doing that. At the end of the day, the toilet is terrific. It's still really terrific. Yeah, but he made sure to tell me that. And also he would give me advice, tell me about the NFL football games. That he'd sort of tell me which team would be winning, or he's very, I don't know how he knew, but he liked to give me good advice about that. Also in baseball too, he would tell me which teams, particularly even the ones from Chicago and New York. He was very interested. And also he was very knowledgeable about the news from New York. I don't know how he seemed to know the news better than I, and I don't know, he kept up with that maybe from the daily news, but he was very knowledgeable about that. And the other thing he would he would also tell me about the politicians, the ones in Chicago and New York, the bad politicians. He seemed to know them too. I don't know how he did that, but I guess he spoke to people. He knew which ones were basically no good. And also, I know he had a loving dog, and he'd tell me which dog bones we had to get. He knew better the right ones. I don't know how, but so he did that too. And basically, he really never complained about anything related to health. Really never. I don't think that was, I don't know if something was wrong, but he wouldn't complain. This hurt, that hurt, and maybe it did, but he wouldn't complain to me. I complained to him maybe, but he wouldn't complain to me. And that's it. I know we're gonna miss him, and I'll miss all the conversations I had. And also one other thing too, also he would tell me about the shul I go to, how they should fix they have to fix the heat. He had ideas maybe how they could do that better. But yes, but that's it. So I know we're gonna miss him a lot.
Thank you, Craig. Adrian.
Well, Lloyd showed love of his family and his precious dog. His conversations with Craig were quite lively when they were sharing dog stories about our Golden Doodle Max and his Doberman Heidi. The two brothers that lived a distance apart but spoke almost daily. And if you had any kind of question, Lloyd could answer it. As a family, we spent many occasions together, such as Thanksgiving with our Aunt Ann. It was festive and fun, and Lloyd enjoyed visiting our grandchildren. And when my grandson Raphael got bar mitzvahed, and Lloyd came and spent time with him, he was giving him uncle advice, and it meant a lot to Raphael. So that's just one of the countless memories shared. And Lloyd, we'll miss you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Adam.
I want to say thank you for coming. Showing respect to my fathers means the world to me and my family. Thank you. My father was a man of not many words, as evidenced by his emails he would send to me that would say, forward, read this. Forward, save this forever. Forward, important. Forward, pest. These methods of communication would be a symptom of the relationship I have with my father. Complicated, interesting, difficult, hilarious. He might have been a man of small words, of short words, but he was not a man short of laughter. His sense of humor was so sharp and so observant. It would make you change the way you see the world in ways you couldn't even see. So obvious to him and so ignored by us that the beauty of which can never be captured because it is stuck in that box to my left. Never to be seen again. Never to be shared. Every Friday, after my mother would light the Shabbat candles, after we had the wine, he would tell me a prayer to my brother and I. Yismach Elohim, Ke'arim V'Kim Menashe. And the only prayer I can have for him is the mourner's Kaddish. It's not a fair trade. Greg, my brother and I have the privilege of knowing him our whole lives and at different times of such. And we all have our own impressions, thoughts, experiences with him. And even the bad ones I had are still memories that I cherish. And the good ones will only be highlighted by the laughs I can hear in the echoes in the back of my mind. Because they are so loud and they are so unique. He would find anywhere he could laugh. And the worst part is, he wouldn't laugh for him sometimes because he would do anything for you and nothing for himself. He would do anything for you, but he wouldn't do anything for him. He was an unforgettable man. He left an impression on us all. He leaves a big gap in our hearts. He'll be forever missed, forever loved, forever remembered. Forever my father. Forever Lloyd. Forever Label. Then who should they look? I wish I could say thank you to. Just hope you can hear me.
David. David's going to share with us the Tehillim, the Psalm in Hebrew.
Yes.
Good.
Mizmor LeDavid Adonai Rohi LeAksar Binot Deshe Arbatzne Alme Kot Ye Naleni Nafshe Sovav Shechavet Negesedek Le Ma Shemol Gam ke lek begeta malvat vet loira ke ata imadi shifte ka umish teka hema yeka umi atek no hema yana kamuni ta'arok Lefne Shulchan Neged So Erai Rerai Deshan Tave Me Roshi Kosi Revaya Akatov Ve Kechesed Yede Funi Kol Yeme Ke Ai Kahai Yeve Shavte Bevet Adonai Leorech Yamim. It's terrible what happened. It's just a shock to me. And he was a very nice. He would also help me with my work at times too. And he would try to, yeah, he always helped me, and it's just terrible that he's gone, and it's just heartbreaking, and I didn't think that it would happen. He was fine. I just don't get it. It's just heartbreaking and unbelievable. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, David, for that Tehillim. We're going to recite it now together in English in your booklets here in the back. Actually, it's in the inside, page 2, Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. We're now going to rise for the Kalmale Memorial Prayer, which we'll recite first in Hebrew and then in English. Hail Malei Rachamim, Shoichein Bamreimim, Hamtzeimenu Nechonechoino, Al Kanfei Ashchino, V'nai Leis Kedeshim Utahirim Kezoyer Erekia, Mazhirim Es Nishmas, Leibo Ben Ashrazelig, Shahalach Leilamoi. ועבור שאנחנו מספללים עד אזכרת נשמתו. בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו, לכן ולרחמים, יסתירהו בססר כנפיו לעולמים. ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני נחלתו, ונוח בשלום על משכבו, ונאמר אמן. God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant proper repose on the sheltering wings of your presence and the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine like the brightness of the sky onto the soul of Label, Lloyd, son of Asher Zelik, who has gone to his world, and for whose memory we pray. May he repose be in paradise. May the Master of compassion bring him under the cover of God's wings and bind his soul in the bond of eternal life. May the Lord be his heritage. May he repose on his resting place in peace. And let us say, Amen.
You may be seated for a moment. This concludes the funeral service here at chapel. The interment will take place at Shalom Memorial Park in Arlington Heights. For those who will be joining the family in procession, we'll be lining up in a parking lot at the west end of our building. We'll be placing a magnetic flag on the vehicle, and we ask that you have your headlights and hazard lights on while driving in procession to the cemetery. At the conclusion of the interment, the family will be sitting Shiva at the Wolf residence, where they'll be there for their traditional Shiva, today 6 to 8 p.m. at Marav at 7 p.m., Sunday from 2 to 8 p.m., and then Mechem Marav at 4:15 p.m., Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. with Marav at 7 p.m., and Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with Marav at 7 p.m. That information is on the service folder that you received when you arrived. And for those joining us on live stream, that information is on the website that you joined the live stream. The following individuals have been asked to act as pallbearers. As I call your name, please come forward. Eric, Jeffrey, Erwin, Richard, and Leon. If we could all rise and have the pallbearers please come forward. Once we have left the chapel, we ask everybody to go immediately to their vehicles. Please rise.
Pallbearers this way, please. Pallbearers, you can follow behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may go to your cars. So if you go to the cemetery, I ask you to go immediately to your vehicles.
Regarding the time.